Hi, folks. You are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks. I'm Mike Morales here in the heartbeat of the San Gabriel Valley. That guy out there is
Skip Falconer in Los Angeles, California.
Skip, world champs. The
Yes,
Rams.
sir.
I
Yes,
called
sir.
it. I called it. Of course, by the time you folks see this, it'll be April. Like, we know. Here's what you don't know. We have a brand new tequila that
Yes, sir.
just breaking on the market. What's the name?
Telson.
Actually, it's Telson.
Telson.
Telson. Yeah, see the little accent on the O, that means you just emphasize it. So this is brand new. They're out of Las Vegas, apparently. Look at the bubbles on that thing. I don't know if you
They got bubbles like Mike likes.
Ooh, you know how I love bubbles.
Love those bubbles.
Yeah, I do. It's so brand new that we have very little information on it. They do have an Instagram, which is where we found them, and reached out to them, and we're getting in touch with the owner. I think he'll be in a future Profiles of Agave Spirits, the Who's Who books that we come up with. So I'm kind of anxious to try this out because it got, I'm going to go on a limb right now and say Brand of Promise nominee and the packaging. I got to say, very elegant.
Very nice. Yes, very nice.
But it's heavy. It's a substantial bottle. So as usual, we're going to pour the juice, taste it, and then we'll give you all the stats and stories and the ins and outs. We just broke the seal off of this, gosh, off camera a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Ooh, whoa. I'm going to use Glencairn. I think you're using your Glencairn, right?
Glencairn.
Here we go.
Yes, sir. Whoa.
Yeah, that was holy cow. Woo. Wait till we tell you where it's coming from, folks. Yeah. Jeez.
So what, 1545?
1545. That distillery, just by name alone, we've had several tequilas from that distillery. It's Hacienda Campania, and Hotel California comes out of there. Calle 23, Amman, which I've never been able to get. Paqui, and did I say Calle 23? That's another one that is coming out of there. Oh, and Casa Mexico, which was a Brand of Promise nominee and a winner. So
yes,
yes, sir. I expect a little bit of quality out of this tequila. Damn it!
Nice pearls.
Yeah, it's ash.
Look at it. It is nice. It is nice and shiny.
Ooh. Wow, nice legs.
Yes.
I don't know if you folks can see that on my glass. Yeah, you can. I mean, if I hold this up, you kind of lose the legs and tears because I guess my lighting is sufficient today.
Oh, look at that, man. They're nice.
I have a lingering bubble.
I have several.
Oh, I'm jealous.
You see that? I have 3.
Yeah, I've got 1. The reason we make a big deal out of that, folks, is that bubbles, they don't necessarily denote quality, but it's a really good sign. And it's rare that you see bubbles in a tequila. Most often you'll see them in mezcals at a higher proof. In fact, that's probably how the Maestro Mezcalero actually grades the ballpark of the ABV. He'll get it to within a degree just by the bubbles. So it's always a good sign, in my opinion. Wow.
I still have that bubble. I have 1 now.
What are you getting?
Some brininess.
Yeah. But there's a depth in there that I can't pin down. it almost smells like a caramelized agave, like it's like burnt or smoke.
Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, it's almost, if you didn't know what you were sensing, you'd think it was chemical, but it's not. It isn't. And somewhere in the center, and of course, I don't normally use a normally use a Glencairn for the Blancos, although I have in the past, but not recently. And so it behaves a little bit differently than out of a jarrito. Okay.
Yeah, there's like a olive.
Oh, there's another good one. I'll buy that. I'll buy olive and brininess. Yeah. Yeah, I'll buy that.
Yeah.
And like at the bottom, at the center at the bottom, like first of all, hardly no alcohol, but at the center at the bottom, I'm getting just a touch of anise, not a lot. It's very faint.
Yeah.
I think maybe it needs to open up a little bit.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Those lakes and tears are beautiful though. Wow, man.
I'm not getting that normal citrusy.
Yeah, no, not from this one. But there is some kind of sweetness to it, like an anise or a mint. It might even be like an orange blossom.
Oh, you know what? I just got that. That mint.
Yeah, it's a flowery, somewhere between herbaceous and flowery. But
yeah, it's really herbal.
Yeah, and I think you're right. The brininess and it's almost like like an olive oil. There's a lot of depth though. It's heavy. This is a heavy tequila. It doesn't have that bright, nose that you and I are used to. And like Four Highlands tequilas will have that bright, the lime and all that we normally get.
Yes.
Yeah, and then if you wait for it, you get that little bit of anise, but it's right in the center.
And you get a little. I'm getting a little pepper now.
Okay.
Kind of a white pepper.
Yeah, but I get more of that brininess though. It's a mixture. It's like it's like sweet and briny, briny. It's light, so I can't say that it's clashing, but they're trying to gain your attention. Well, you ready to dive in?
Yes.
Yeah, we could be here all day smelling this thing. Here we go. Wow.
Wow.
You first.
That lit up my palate. Oh, the spiciness.
Yeah.
And there's a touch of sweetness in there.
Yeah, there's a sweetness in there that I thought was overly sweet, but then it just died. Because Skip and I, we've had some poorly done tequilas with additives in it. This distillery is not known to use them. So I won't say that. But it evolved, and wow, what a finish.
Yes. Yeah. It's going. The finish it's warming up.
Yeah.
I still get the spiciness.
Yeah, the sweetness was just on the intake. Once it got past right at the beginning, and then it just the pepper explosion, and then I got that little bit of anise in the rear of my sides of my tongue to the rear of the palate, and then a long finish. But it was a bit confusing. It's still, I'm gonna have to go in there again because I that first pass was tricky. It was tricky.
Yeah, and the nose didn't really quite gel with the taste.
Yeah, I was expecting more of that olive oil brininess, like a.
Yes,
and
yes.
It wasn't there.
That pepper explosion is there though. It's still there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna try one more. Here we go.
Yeah, me too.
I got some fibrousness. There's a density on the palate that, to me, just when I was doing the retronasal, that's what you hear me doing clear when it sounds like I'm clearing my throat. And it gave me like a fibrous, like an agave paper kind of scent or retronasal, which I only detect and perceive in mezcals, sotos, raicillas, where they ferment with the fibers. I'm not sure what they're doing with this.
Yeah.
Most tequilas don't ferment with fibers. They don't. They just don't. Let me see what the information is. Now, I'll read you the press release.
Yeah, because I got none.
Yeah.
This is brand new here.
Okay, it says a flagship Telson Blanco, Reposado and Añejo. We only got the Blanco. Multi-brand beverage startup Romero Brands releases 3 new boutique tequilas. They're out of Las Vegas. 100% blue agave from the highlands of Jalisco, and created from a thirst for authenticity and transcendence. Okay. Let me see. Brilliant crystal clear color with a sweet vanilla aroma and undertones of delicate agave. I didn't know if it was, I wouldn't say it was vanilla.
I didn't get that either.
Yeah. But, that's what they're saying. That's the Blanco, Repo, and the Añejo. It says each 750 features the geographic coordinates. They'll give you the locations, and it's on the label on the neck.
Mike, I get the vanilla now.
Is that what we're getting? But see,
I'm getting the vanilla now.
Why would it have vanilla?
But I'm getting it now.
It's opening up a little bit more now that we've had a couple of passes.
Yeah.
But it's a cross between vanilla and that orange. I'm not a fan of that. But I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt here because it's coming out of the Hacienda Campellania, the farm in San Jose de Gracia, which that area also makes Don Pilar. That's where Don Pilar grows his agave. He's in that same town. As a matter of fact, I know that they
do they do the Mozart?
No, not this distillery.
Not this distillery. How about the champagne yeast? What type of yeast are they using?
Let me see. I don't know. I'm just reading off what they sent us. Let's see. Okay. Where the first crop of Telson Tequila Weber agave was grown on a patch of 3 acres at 6,194 feet above sea level. Hand-selected crop for the first batch. Honors the land, beautiful agave. Our journey starts here. Okay. Let's see. Takes its name from the urban legend that scorpions found their afterlife in tequila. What? Telson, meaning the tail, really, pays homage to the scorpion stinger, where the venom has been healing powers, has healing powers and aphrodisiac properties present every time we enjoy a Telson tequila. Okay. Pricing. You were asking about pricing. Here we go. The MSRP is $39.99 for the Blanco, $47.99 for the Reposado, and $56.99 for the Añejo. And it's available in Nevada, Utah, and you can buy it online. And that's what we get so far. Let's see. Artisanal tequilas are handcrafted from the highest quality, 100% agave. Okay, here we go. Here's the process, Skip, which is carefully harvested, closely trimmed, and slowly cooked in brick ovens. Aha. The cooked agave is then crushed, fermented, and distilled in small batches, leaving us with a remarkably beautiful aroma and taste profile. Our meticulous and well thought out process goes far beyond exceptional tequilas. Our social responsibility and sublime love for our community is what drives our passion and soul. Visit Telson Tequila online or follow Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And that's all we get. That's it. So that's what they're telling us. And if I'm just going to have to say that that's everything that's going on in here has got to be natural, because that distillery is not known for using additives.
I tell you, I'm still I still have the peppery, the numbness on my lips. It's still rolling in there.
Yeah. That's an interesting nose. It's interesting how it evolved. It went from briny, and then the sweetness is finally, now that we've gone through a couple of passes, and I haven't even filled my glass, and now it's sweeter on the bottom.
Yes. And you know what I got on that last pass? I got anise.
Well, I got that like at the very back of my palate on the first pass. The sweetness.
I got it. I got it on my second pass.
Okay. The sweetness was a little confusing. I wasn't sure what that was. I didn't, like you said, I didn't expect to have the sweetness come up when we were getting the brininess and the olive at the top. I thought, well, maybe we'll get a little bit more gamey, but that's not what happened. Boy, there's some substance and structure in that mid palate. It's heavy. It's dense. And
if you leave it there, I like the pepper. I like that spiciness of this tequila.
But see, and I like the denseness. There's that paper agave fibrousness, and it's all at the mid palate.
Yeah.
And then I do get the anise, but that's usually at the rear.
Yeah.
This got a spectacular finish. Wow.
It does.
I don't know.
And
can we get past this nose though? This really
the nose, the nose is confusing, but I think the juice, I think it's pretty good juice.
Okay. Well, then you know what? Let's see how it runs. This is a Brand of Promise nominee. We'll see what in the Blanco category. We'll see how it performs. As we do our scorings. But
yeah,
and it's bold. That's the other thing too. It's like the nose comes across like it's not as bold, you know, except for when
Right.
except for the brininess and the sweetness. And then as it goes in, it's like that explosion and that long
Right.
finish. I just
Exactly. Because it's the pepper is jumping around in my mouth. It's
yeah.
it's nice. It's a nice finish for me.
Yeah, it's a substantial tequila. It is really
Yeah.
there's a great structure to it. It's beefy, right in the center. There's that fibrousness that I get. But like I say, I've only had, it's not as pronounced as it is with the mezcals and the sotols, but it's there, and it's unusual in a tequila to get this much denseness for me. So, you know, small batch, small field, probably old plants too, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think these are young plants.
No, not the way it's behaving. I really want to get past this nose though, man. This is still my first pour.
Yeah.
Have you poured yet? You poured the second one?
Yeah. I'm done. I've
Even the retronasal is very pleasant. That fibrousness and the retronasal that I get. Oh hell, man! I gotta pour another one just for kicks and giggles, man. Because
okay.
I was surprised. I really was, because it's just it's behaving so differently. And you know, I love the bubbles. This got lingering bubbles like a mezcal.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I wish I knew more about the process. You know, if they're fermenting in wood vats, because I'm not sure if the distillery has wood vats or stainless steel. Like you said, I'm not sure if they're using champagne yeast. All I know is I've had lots of quality tequilas coming out of that distillery, including Viva Mexico just recently for 2021. And I got to put this right up there, man. It's just,
Yeah, the nose is really confusing.
yeah, you know, because I'm sensing, like I say, I started sensing the orange blossom a little bit, and then, but on the first pour, we did get that brininess at that olive thing, and then the sweetness wasn't as prominent until it started to open up.
So it starts to open up, and now when I did this, the second pour, it's going back to the brininess.
Yeah, it's like the sweetness is drowned out by the briny.
It's drowned out. There is no sweetness. There's spiciness. There's spiciness.
But you know, where Skip was saying that it was like a brininess, I was getting more of a like a burnt caramel, you know, like a if they're using the brick ovens, you know, that wouldn't be unusual,
Right.
you know. I'm gonna, let's just see how it runs, you know, because this could be. I knowing what I know about this distillery, it's got to be all natural. It can't. They just do not. They don't use the additives. So this can't be. You know, if it's fermenting in wooden vats, I would you know, I would say, or maybe if they're resting it, you know, maybe they're putting it in a barrel for like, you know, lunar rested for like 5 days or something, right? But that's not what they're saying, because look at how bright and shiny it is.
Yeah, and it's not. It doesn't look like it's been rested.
No, and they would say that, but then again, sometimes the people that write the copy don't really understand what the process is. God damn, it finishes good. Boy, I tell you what, you can get past the nose. If the nose kind of makes you suspicious, just swallow it. Just put it. Just all the character is at the mid palate for me.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Because this time it didn't even go in that sweet like it did on the first pass.
It didn't. It didn't.
No, that first pass it was sweet, and it was a
It
little.
was kind of sweet. Yeah. And you know, I appreciate sweet.
Yeah, but in the Blanco,
No.
you know, that's what I'm saying. This is unusual. But once you intake it on the second refill, okay, the second pour, it's all of it, the retronasal, the beefiness, you know, the fibrousness that I'm detecting. Or maybe, you know, as Skip put it, the brininess, the olive oil kind of thing.
Yeah. And you know, on this second pass, I didn't even get that. I the majority of it is the spiciness for me. It's really
Yeah, it's a tasty Blanco. Yeah.
And I like spice.
Yeah, because it's a, you know, sometimes the older the plant is, the more the spicier it the, you know, the peppery it gets.
Mm.
You know what? I'd like to taste this as it ages. I'd like to see what it does as a reposado and what it does as an añejo. If the spiciness converts into like cinnamon spice or gets hot, you know,
Yeah.
from the barrel, it'd be nice to see how this evolves.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it really would. I'm thinking it would be delicious.
Okay. Cocktail worthy?
I would put it in like a margarita.
I think it would stand up to a Bloody Maria also because of the pepperiness.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah, that mid palate though, it's substantial. It's really got that agave punch to it.
Yeah.
What a finish, man.
I would sip this.
Yeah, I would too. And I think having just done a tasting with Bryce a little bit ago, I asked Bryce, "What do you think? Would this go in a ranch water?" And they go, "Yeah, you know, little Topo Chico and a thing of ice, and you know, maybe open up a little bit more to be refreshing. But this is denser, and that's why I say maybe it'd be better as a food pair, you know,
Yeah.
with meats and cheeses or something, because this mid palate, it's got great character. But you know, that's it. Unless you folks are getting it somewhere in Vegas, let us know what you're doing with it, because I want to know more. We're gonna have them, like I say, in a future edition of Who's Who in Agave Spirits. But that's our take on Telson tequila. This is the Blanco only is all we got, and we're hoping to get the rest of the line, because I really would like to get more of it.
I'd love to.
Right here are the coordinates.
Yeah.
For the property, okay, so you can Google map this thing, and they'll show you right where the fields are. Again, their pricing is not bad. I would pay that price.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
No. So that's our take. I'm Mike Morales here in the San Gabriel Valley of Southern California. That guy out there is
Skip Falconer in Los Angeles.
You guys have been watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media. Anywhere where you listen to your podcast, like Spotify, which is where we're on now, and all the other platforms. Follow us on Instagram. Follow Skip on his Instagram. His handle is Tequila Sensei, which used to be my handle, but not anymore. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, give us a like, because that does help us on the algorithm. Yes, and leave us a comment, because we are reading the comments. We're a little slow at getting them, but we're because we put out so many videos. But we will get to your comments, and whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.